Merchants in Expedition 33 are a super cool way to get new weapons, new Pictos, and just get to fight the merchant to see what cool goodies you're going to get. Tons of resources from these merchants, and I think we finally found the best merchant that you can find in Expedition 33. He is hidden in probably my favorite place in the game. That's right, people. We're going to be back. We're going to be back at Renoir's Drafts. If you don't know where it is, I'll show you a sneak peek on the map. It's right here in between Visage and Serene, is it? Seren, however you want to say that. Straight down from the old monolith, and this area just is superb. I've made so many videos at this, but this is probably the last one though. I will admit we're close to wrapping up my time with the game in this playthrough, and then it'll be a new game plus and then the review. So this is the last time, but the merchant in this area is absolutely fantastic. I will walk you through how to get to the merchant. So obviously as you enter this area, we do have ourselves a flag, and we're going to continue this way. Now, I've made videos on different parts of this area. If you want to see that, go and see that. I'm not going to talk about that in this one video here. I'm going to run away from the bad guys as often as possible, just to try and avoid the fights. There is one fight in this area that is unavoidable for you to get to, so I do understand if you are a particular level, you're going to struggle. This is definitely an endgame merchant, that has to be said. You would definitely not be able to... I mean, even if you make it to this merchant, you have to fight him to unlock any of his gear. And trust me, he's got some cool ass stuff in here. But his fight's actually very different. I will show you the fight, but his fight is very different to what the normal merchant fight is. But as we continue making our way up, this is the unfortunate thing. These guys just block this way. This isn't the easiest of fights. Once you're at the level that I'm at, this is. But it's not the easiest of fights. I'll just power through it. But you are going to have to do at least this one fight to get to the merchant. It kind of just is what it is. I do recommend taking CL with you, because these guys can take actually quite a bit of damage, and they can kind of prolong this fight for a long ass time if you're not careful. But if you have CL with you, she's just going to give you like infinite goals, and you can use Standout with my L, and you're going to be able to take out a lot of the riffraff. Use Verso as well in like an aggressive way. You're going to be absolutely fine, because if you just use this intervention, man, we already know it's insane. And once you're done with that fight, you are going to have to run and avoid more enemies. If you make your way down to the right, it's going to be down in this area right here. Now, we need to be getting up on top of this little building here. Now, if I remember this correctly, I should be able to avoid all enemies, I think. I just have to be very careful and take a jump here, and then boom. You can avoid all the enemies en route to this one, apart from that one set. So it's not the end of the world, and this little guy here is going to have the best goods of your life. And I am not kidding when I say the best stuff of your life. I've only just managed to buy the majority of stuff here, but you can already see just the sheer volume. This guy has been put here to get yourselves ready for your first new game plus, and for some of the super bosses here at the end game. This is quite clearly obvious. I mean, all the stuff in here is pretty good. You're going to be able to make so many different builds. I have expanded my opinion on what I thought was good in this game in terms of build crafting as time has gone on. Some stuff I was like, nah, that is absolutely terrible. I have completely changed my mind with a lot of that kind of stuff. You know, this one here, I would have never used this in the past, but now you can turn Verso into basically a machine gun. There is a weapon here that I actually think challenges for Mael's best weapon. Because this Yevrum looks absolutely insane, and it is absolutely insane. The sheer survivability that you are giving yourselves with this weapon, with the applying all the shields, is absolutely insane. And we already know now that what was deemed her best weapon, you don't actually need to get into Virtuoso stance, because there's so many builds where you drop yourself down to 1 HP and give yourself all the AP in order to get to Virtuoso. So this is a really good weapon, and one I definitely suggest picking up and trying to play with. It will help you in some of the harder fights as well, because when you create a build that really stacks shields upon shields with the Pictos, I might have to make a separate video. But anyway, you're going to have to fight the merchant to do this, and this merchant is a very different fight. Now, the reason why this fight is so different is because he has friends. He has help. Now, what I like to do with this fight is actually use Lene. She's my favorite character to use for this fight and to do the elemental genesis. You guys are going to be able to pick whoever you think is going to be best for you for this fight, but I do think someone who can hit several enemies at once is always good. You could use my L and just kind of pick them off, I guess. That could be another way to do it, but this is just the way that I enjoy doing it. There are certain enemies here that are more annoying to deal with in terms of their attacks, man. I need to think about what the hell I am doing here, right? I am not even focused in the slightest, and I just got slapped in the face. I should mention this. These guys can do quite a good amount of damage, so, you know, it's not that difficult if you're focused, if you're switched on. When you're doing a video, you might not be as focused and switched on as me, but I just come in with an 8, I do the elemental genesis, and eventually you will wipe them down more than enough in order to kill everyone. I also find the Gestural quite easy to beat, so if you want to take out the guys on the side first, say you were using my L, I would definitely recommend that. The Gestral's attacks are probably the easiest to parry in the game. The merchants in general aren't that difficult to beat. The reason why this one is more difficult is because he has a little bit of backup. And once you do finally kill him, you should get yourself some Color Illumina and some Grandiosa. Now, this is considered one of the quickest farms. I mean, it's doable. If you've got a build to take this out with one character, I'm not using any of the solo Pictos or anything like that. If you start using that, you're going to have so much more damage output if you want to put a build together where you're solo. Or genuinely, this is something that you could just rinse and repeat. It gives you more than one Lumina each time, and it's very quick to get in and out of the fight, because after the fight, you go straight back into trading. You can fight the merchant again. So if you want to set up a farm for that, this is very doable. But that's how you're going to do it. This is the stuff you're going to get. And this is by far, in my opinion, the best merchant in Expedition 33. It has some of the best weapons in the game. Again, this is all my opinion. And the Pictos that you get here. There is no merchant at this current state of this game that offers you anywhere near as much as that. But just be prepared to save up a little bit of money, because this guy bled me absolutely dry. I didn't have a pot to piss in the end. But thank you very much for the love and support. That's the end of this video. If you want to see more content on Expedition 33, look at all the videos we've got. I might return to doing some build videos. I haven't fully decided yet. But thank you very much for the love and support and pushing us over 100 subs. Keep that coming. Smash like, hit subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.